I don't know how many of you noticed this, but did you notice that Fujiwara, her ribbon was injured when she was helping out, Miyuki? Like, here you go. Here's the picture. Just look at it. It's pretty hilarious because she's literally a female Shinpachi from Gintama. And it's also very meta because there's a lot of characters in manga or anime that are literally defined by their accessories, their headpieces. Without their accessories, ribbons, headpieces, whatever, they're technically just a carbon copy of another female or male character from another story. And it's just funny to see that Fujiwara, her ribbon literally was injured thanks to helping out Miyuki. I gotta hand it to her. She is a proud mother. She has raised that boy. She has helped him achieve peak status as a human being to be able to perform like he did in that volleyball match. But okay, let's talk about that. Let's go to the very beginning. I like how Fujiwara, as a character, she is really just growing on me. You would think at the beginning of the series, when she was first introduced, she would be annoying. She would be a character that would just be like, please, you're only there to stop the plot progression. You're only there to just, slow things down and, be annoying for the audience. But that's really not the case. Fujiwara has really, actually, in a lot of ways, progressed the story. She has progressed Kaguya and Miyuki's relationship because, think about this episode. Let's look at an example with the whole umbrella scene. With the umbrella scene, she was the one that came out and handed Kaguya an umbrella to end the entire mind games between the two characters. Like, here's an umbrella and all that, and then they walked home together. For instance, Miyuki and Kaguya. So, Chika, Fujiwara, she's not a typical character. She's not like what, the third wheel usually is in a story, or, her type of character. She's actually helping, and I appreciate that from this story. And also, the entire segment with her helping out Miyuki without even Kaguya appearing once was wholesome, because it shows that we don't really need, both main characters in one segment of the story all the time. We don't need Kaguya and Miyuki to make a good scene, because it was just Fujiwara training Miyuki how to play, or get better at serving and tossing the ball and all that. And it's hilarious that something so simple, a scene so simple, was so fun. Probably one of my favorite scenes of the episode, because it's just the elements of what Miyuki was doing. For instance, being really bad at sports, it's a common cliche. You see this often in rom-coms, romance, or characters that are pretty boys, almost good at everything when it comes to, academics or whatever, their student council. Usually, they're characters that fell at the sports area. And sometimes there can be a character that's just good at everything, but the cliche of being bad at sports is common. And it's funny to me that something that I've seen so often still gave me great joy. Now, I am a sucker for romance, the romance genre and all of that, but it blows my mind that Kaguya-sama can kind of grip me in a way to where I can keep enjoying even cliches that I normally actually hate and want to avoid. So, yeah, and Fujiwara as a character really just carries the scene, too, because, oh my god, the eternal screaming she did when she realized how bad he was, she spends, days working on his serve just to be able to serve the ball. He's like, I finally got it, and all that, can you help me toss and all that, and serve? And I'm just like, really? And then she looks at him, and she's like, wait a minute. You didn't know how to do this, but now you don't know how to do this. And just seeing how she went through so much hell just to get him to learn that one thing. You gotta imagine the rest of the week was literally like boot camp. She was having to train like a Navy SEAL or something. That's kind of the equivalent. And seeing at the end where she's just all beat up, she has band-aids all over on her ribbon. Oh my god, just you gotta imagine how proud she was in that moment. Just seeing how good he was, how strong he was, going in there, defeating his opponents. I love this series. But, okay. Anyways, let's talk about let's talk about the romance advice segment. I think that was the beginning of the episode, the first part of the episode. So we have a continuation from what happened previously in another episode, to where Miyuki, he gave romantic advice to a dude that came up to him. It's like, hey, obviously with how popular you are, how much you probably have been with a lot of people, and you could probably give me romantic advice. And basically, as we know, Miyuki, he's a guy that has no advice, no, I guess experience or whatever to really give, and he was winging it the entire time. And it was funny because when that scene was done, the dude that did get the advice, he did get to go out with the girl. He he put his hand on the wall right beside her. He's like, yeah, let's go out and all that. And I'm pretty happy that that scene carried on, because it gives consistency that there is progression within this world. Because normally episodic episodes, because when you look at Kaguya-sama, it does feel episodic, at least with its themes or its little segments throughout the episode. But it's nice to see that the world is progressing. Like, these different comedic segments, like, the stuff with, Miyuki giving life advice, love advice, actually progressed a big plot point of this episode. So there is a sense of time passing. There is romance building between these characters. It's just not like an endless loop of every single day basically being the same with, them playing with each other's mind games or whatever. So, for instance, Miyuki getting good at volleyball, that will carry over to the next episode. So if he ever has a challenge having to do some form of sport, he might be better at it, or he might even ask, Fujiwara to help him out, which I don't think she'll probably ever help him out again, because with how beat up she was, I just don't think she has the will or spirit inside of her to ever do that again. But yeah, so that's one thing I like about that segment. But Kaguya gives advice, which I think is radically different from the Miyuki scene, because Miyuki, he was someone that was freaking out, and Kaguya did kind of listen in, and he did slightly confess his feelings to her, and she was really just excited about that. In this episode, she was just having more of girl talk. Like, we haven't really seen that side of her often, where she just acts like a girl in love, and the way she was talking to the girl, just expressing her love, it was super cute. And every time the girl's like, wait a minute, this sounds a lot like, like she was gonna say this, student council president. She's like, no, that, it ain't him or whatever. I'm just like, I like how her personality could just shift so dramatically. And I think that's what really makes this series shine in anime form, while I'm seeing so many manga readers compliment it. It's because the voice actors really nail these characters. I mean, think about this for a second. Like, take a moment to really look at the voice acting of Kaguya. Kaguya has very distinct lines. Like, she can go from one moment seeming like a yandere, one moment looking like a tsundere, one moment looking like a girl in love, cutesy, or just acting very calm. Her voice actor is very talented. She shifts her voice constantly while reading out her lines, and that's not something someone normally can do. That's a lot of skill. And I have heard that apparently the voice actor is relatively new in, the anime industry. So if that really is the case, that's honestly just surprising. It's a real talent to be able to do that. I mean, I always appreciate stuff like that because it gives life to series, and I think voice acting is one of the most important things when it comes to anime, because when you're adapting manga, you're bringing it to life. So audio is a big thing, and voice acting matters so much for these characters, because when people are reading their manga, they're visualizing the voices inside of their head when they're reading. And so you gotta imagine people that have probably been reading the manga for so long, hearing a voice actor have so much talent, being able to change their voice like, Kaguya-sama's voice actor does, you're like, oh my god, like, this is crazy. Like, really. I think the voice actor really should be praised, and deserves a pay raise, honestly. I mean, if she's not getting paid enough, she needs to be paid more, because that's, oh my god. I mean, honestly, it's not even Kaguya-sama's voice actor that's really good. It's every voice actor. I mean, let's look at the French episode. Like, last episode, with just, Miyuki and how he acted with his French, to Fujiwara, how she acted with, her French. I mean, these voice actors are extremely talented, and I have to say, these voices are perfect, like the actors and everything, for the character roles. I don't think I've seen a cast this perfect for the voice actors in a very long time. But okay, the last segment to get into is the umbrella scene. So, with the umbrella scene, it's, like I've already said, it's a cutesy scene, because Fujiwara, she comes in, interrupts Kaguya and Miyuki, trying to have mind games with each other, to get one of each other to admit who has an umbrella or not. And obviously Kaguya was going to win that. Like, if it would have continued and Fujiwara never, came into the picture, Kaguya was going to win because she had so much pre-planning to that moment. It was honestly on yandere levels. Like, that's something you would see from a crazy character that just wants to completely have the MC fall in love and be very possessive. I mean, she went so far out of her way to really plan for that moment, to catch Miyuki in a lie and say, like, oh, you really do have an umbrella, and she didn't want to admit it. It's just, Kaguya is such an interesting character. She's just not normal for this type of genre. And that's why I want to read the manga, too. I really want to see how the manga is in comparison. Like, where it's at right now with the anime. I really want to see the differences. But okay, I think I want to end the video there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. And if you want to, get notified for whenever I upload a video, please hit the bell icon down below. Because for some reason, even if you hit, the subscribe button, you don't always get notified. So if you want to be notified, hit that bell icon. And this doesn't go just for me. It goes for every YouTuber on the platform. So even if you don't care about me, at the very least, hit the bell icon for the YouTubers you do care about. And with that, I love you guys. Be safe. Stay happy. Chibi out.